Hey guys, this is Miss Young and you're going to be taking notes over hemispheres. Let's get started. So you're going to be taking notes a little bit differently today. You're going to be taking them in colored pencil. So anytime that you're looking at the screencast, any words that you need to write, they're either going to be in green on the screen, red, or blue, and they will also be underlined. You will not have to actually write anything that's written in white. Okay, so just kind of be ready for that, and I'll help you out as we go along. If something is written in green, or the words are in green, you will write this with your black pen or a regular pencil. If something on the screen is red, you're going to be writing it with a red pen or pencil. And if something is blue, you're going to be writing it with a blue pen or pencil. So be paying close attention. I'm going to help you out as we go. So what is a hemisphere? A hemisphere means half of a sphere. The word hemisphere has two parts. Hemi, meaning half, and sphere, meaning circle or globe. Put them together, and it means half of a sphere. Make sure that you're writing these green words down onto your paper. You're going to be writing these green words in either a black pen or your regular pencil. I'll give you some time to do this. Teachers pause if needed. So when we're talking about Earth, there are four hemispheres. You have the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, the eastern hemisphere, and the western hemisphere. And yes, you do have to write out both words in their entirety, meaning the whole word. I know it's a lot, but we're not experts yet. So while you're writing, I'll go ahead and point this out. We have the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, the eastern hemisphere, and the western hemisphere. Teachers pause if you need to. So on the Earth we have imaginary lines. There are two main imaginary lines that divide our hemispheres. Our first imaginary line I want you to know is the equator. You can see it in red on your map on the screen. So go ahead and write the word equator with your red pen or pencil. The other imaginary line is the prime meridian, and you can see it in blue on your screen. Go ahead and write the word prime meridian in your blue pen or pencil. So these two imaginary lines have very important jobs, and we'll get to those in just a second. Pause if needed. So let's talk about that equator. The equator divides the Earth into the northern and southern hemispheres. So take a look at the map. Everything above this line is north. Everything below this line is south. This is what makes up our northern hemisphere and our southern hemisphere. Write down everything you see in your red pen or pencil onto the correct lines. The equator, just a quick reminder, the equator is this red line, and it is 0 degrees. 0 degrees. It's super important that you know that. It is the center point. It's how you measure distance towards the North Pole and the South Pole. How far away are you from the equator? Now let's talk about the prime meridian. You're going to be writing in your blue pen or pencil. The prime meridian divides the Earth into the eastern and western hemispheres. Everything right of this line is east, and everything left of this line is west. This is what gives you your eastern hemisphere and your western hemisphere. The prime meridian is this blue line right here, just a quick reminder, and it is a 0-degree line as well. Those will make more sense when we start talking about longitude and latitude. The prime meridian is always in this spot. It always runs through Europe right here, and it always runs through Africa right here, and through the Southern Ocean and through Antarctica. That's always the prime meridian. All right, pause if you need to. Move on when you're ready. All right, so now that you've completed your notes over the hemisphere, now we're going to go ahead and write or draw on our maps to make sure that we have a picture to help us memorize our hemispheres. So on map 1 at the bottom, draw this using your red pen or pencil. So draw and label the equator. I want you to label the northern hemisphere with your red and label your southern hemisphere with your red. Pause if needed. And on map 2, get out your blue pen or pencil, and I want you to draw and label the prime meridian. Remember, you need to go through Europe and go through Africa, go through Antarctica, just as you see on the map on the board. And then I want you to label your western hemisphere and your eastern hemisphere. If you need help memorizing which side is which, it should always say we. That's how I memorize which side is which. The W's over here because you spell we, W-E. Pause if you need to, move on when you're ready.